Barbie! I told you to wait in the dream house.
Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi, the trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello, and welcome to episode 56 of the Real Serious Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Charles and Jack, and I'm sure we have a lot to say specifically about Charles's alleged very big Blu-ray haul. But first, I have a complaint I'd like to make. I'm not going to ask how you guys are doing right now because I have to make this first. I was at the theater waiting for Companion to start. And for those who are not in the Midwest, or specifically Michigan area, we had a big storm on Friday night, and so the roads were awful. So I arrived early to the theater because I thought it would take a lot longer to get there. And I was like, so I got there early. I sat down and I was like, I've seen Maria Menounos tell me about movies before. I've seen these trailers. So I was trying to play a game on my phone. The App Store is just the worst thing in the world. And games are impossible to play on your phone. There's ads every 2 seconds. And I did not realize that it got that bad over the last 5 years. So that was my
yeah, you got to pay 99 cents to get the ad-free version.
It's ridiculous. Like even games I used to like play a lot, like Jetpack Joyride, like there's like ads every 4 seconds now. It's ridiculous. It's like how do you even play these games?
Well, a lot of developers will make just very bare bones games.
Yeah.
So that they can just keep pumping them out, and I don't know, X amount of people will download each one, but they just hammer you with ads. And I don't even think they're designed to. I don't think they make these games with the intention of the consumers keeping them on their phone and playing them for a long time. I think it's just like rapid fire, you know?
Maybe. I miss
like
the games where like you would have to only watch an ad if you wanted something.
Remember the game Ryder? It was like a little car and you like did flips.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that developer just pumps games out.
Maybe. And then they all have the same ads for the same games.
Yeah.
And then you get so locked into the ads, you're like, I forgot I was even playing the game, you know?
Yeah. And then you can like play the ads and it's like.
Yep, you can play the ads. Yep.
What? But then if you download the game from the ad, it's never the game you just played in the ad.
That's the worst part. Especially like TikToks, they'll show you gameplay and you're like, wow, this actually the most infuriating thing, and I get so irrationally angry when actually it's not irrational. I just get annoyed. But when like they show a game and they show someone playing the game and the guy's like, oh, let me go over here, and it's just like very clearly the wrong decision, so then they lose, and it's like just win.
They're geniuses. They know how to keep us and make us frustrated and interact with their content. It's unreal.
It's so annoying. So annoying.
God, they're
all right. Sorry. That was my complaint early on. How we doing? How we doing, boys? How's everything going on?
Good.
The sun is shining.
Yeah, and Luka is what is it? He's a Laker. He's a Laker now.
Disgusting. Yuck.
The sun will shine on us again. What is that from?
The sun will shine on us, brother. The sun will.
The sun will shine on us again. I know it. The sun will shine.
Let the sun shine down.
Oh, it's Loki from Infinity War.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. Speaking of the sun, it's like 60 degrees in Denver. It's been a really nice weekend. Went for a run. Went very poorly, but
hey, we tried.
You went on a run nonetheless, and we applaud you.
Yeah. In Strava, my comment, because you know how you can leave a comment or like a caption. Yeah. My caption was, "I've regressed. I have gotten worse." But yeah.
But you will get better.
Well, I better because I'm running a marathon in like 7 months. So
if I don't 7 months. 7 months.
7 months.
You can wait 4 months to even start training, and you'll be okay.
Well, I'm running a half marathon at 14,000 feet elevation in June.
Oh, but you live at 14,000 feet elevation, so like you'll be okay.
I live at 5,000 feet.
Oh,
what?
Wow. I don't know how Denver works.
It's called the Mile High City.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, 5,000. 5,000, what, 280 something?
Jesus.
Oh,
5,200. Yeah, you got it. Well done.
Thanks, man.
All
Thanks.
right.
Do we all get like hauls over the weekend? Seemed like the boys were killing it.
Should we all
Yeah.
do a haul?
Should we do a haul off? Who's hauling?
All right.
best? All right, Jack.
I'll go last.
Jack, please bestow us your haul.
all right. This is should be pretty quick. I went to the movies. They had posters, kind of like leftover posters that the employees didn't want. So I didn't get Better Man. Unfortunately, I really wanted that poster, but for some reason, I think somebody got it before me. I was able to get 3 good ones.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Sure.
Oh my god. Nice.
Ooh.
That's
So I
huge.
got Gladiator 2. It doesn't have. This is like the kind of like the teaser one where it just shows his hands. You know.
Yeah, him rubbing that
And
dirt.
this one, I really like this poster, and I think it's just very colorful and very vibrant. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put it up in my room.
I realize this is really great radio we're doing right now. Oh, Honora. All right, Jack
Honora.
is showing us the
Honora
Honora poster.
Sorry, I know, but I think it's so
Not-
much more fun just to show it.
Not the Criterion Collection though.
No, not the Criterion Collection poster, just the initial
That'd
theatrical
be-
poster. A
That'd be a questionable
little
one.
too much.
And then this one, I was like the most excited I was to find one, but
The Wild
Oh.
Robot. Jack is now showing us the Wild Robot poster.
Oh, that's.
Really?
I'm so
Was-
jealous.
but
That's sweet.
it's kind of like torn up. But I'm like, who cares? Like I can
Who
literally just,
cares?
I'm throwing it on my wall
Who
anyway.
cares? Who
But
cares?
they're like the double-sided ones, really cool. And then this beauty came in.
Oh yeah.
God.
Now Jack is showing us the Wicked Steelbook exclusive
Look at
to
it
Walmart.
shine. Look at that gleam.
W for Walmart on the back.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
The Walmart.
Nothing.
W on the back.
There's the
that
inside.
looks good.
Super
That looks
sweet.
good.
Super sweet.
Dude,
Very
I'm
happy.
stealing
I
your
thought,
code. I'm so digital code right now. Sorry,
oh
too late.
crap.
I've stolen it. It's already over. I got it now.
No, but it was super cool. I was very happy to get it. I honestly wasn't expecting it for a really long time because it said it wasn't going to come in until like November of next year or something, which maybe some steelbooks do that, but I was pleasantly surprised when I got a notification saying it was coming in.
Yeah, mine isn't even shipped yet, so you were very lucky.
I haven't checked mine.
Dude, we're all going to be it's wicked.
It truly is wicked.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
It's
All
kind of
right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So there we go.
What'd you get, Hunter?
All right, I got a couple things. I only pulled a few to show. I got in the background here on the shelf. I got some cups from McDonald's. They're like glasses from the late '80s, and they're the Muppets from the Muppet the Muppets, the Great Muppet Caper. Pretty hyped for that. I'm gonna use them for iced coffee. So I'm actually very hyped for that. On Facebook, I bought Mario Kart Double Dash for the the GameCube. So I started playing that this morning, but haven't got very far in it. And then I found this place that was selling old cards. So I only pulled one of them just to show, but these old Nintendo cards from this Nintendo like early 80s set. And so there's one that's Mario, pretty sweet. And then before the trailer was even announced to come out this week, I got this little number right here, a little Mr. Fantastic action figure. Gonna go up in the
that's sweet.
background back here. Gonna be right next to Venom back there. So all 16 inches of Venom. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic, honestly.
That's quite fantastic.
I'm gonna say that again. So yeah, I can't believe that that's the last thing that Fantastic Four have said on screen in like the last decade. But that'll change on Tuesday. So
What if it starts off and they're like, it's fantastic?
it's fantastic.
Say it again.
Like that weird The Thing voice. Yo, it's fantastic. All right, Charles. We have to delay so for those who don't know, we delayed the episode recording right now because Charles had to get this haul. So it
I
better be
had
good.
to.
I just
All
got
right.
it.
Buckle your seatbelts, fellas, and pull your socks up
Consider-
because
Consider it
it's gonna be a
buckled.
bumpy ride. All right. So we got Spider-Man. It's the glare. Spider-Man 3
Mhm.
and Spider-Man 1. Didn't have Spider-Man 2. Not
So
really
they
sure
didn't
about-
have the best one.
Well, they wanted to keep the
Moving-
best one. That makes
Moving
sense.
on. Civil War.
Oh.
Very nice.
Birdman,
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man,
A lot of mans.
3:10 to Yuma.
Yep. Great.
The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. This was the last one I didn't have. No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. This guy rocks.
Hold up. I got Mission Impossible Fallout again, but it's the 4K edition. So
Yep. Now you just need the Steelbook.
The Accountant.
Oh.
I got all 5 Pirates of the Caribbeans.
Yo.
Da Vinci Code, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Those are the other pirates. The Hateful Eight.
This guy's on a little roll right here.
Stand by. Shoot. Oh.
This is really great radio. This is really great radio.
Hold on. Pulling the last.
The ASMR of the plastic
Shoot.
bag is just something special.
Deadpool. Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, baby.
Men in Black 3. Babylon.
Ooh.
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Oh.
Damn,
Yes.
somebody really just said, "Hey, I don't want this."
Yeah, I don't need
Just
that
came
That
out.
last year.
I don't need that
Hacksaw
anymore.
Ridge.
Oh.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, still in packaging.
Nice.
Spectre.
Ooh.
Knives Out.
Yeah. All right.
Jumanji.
Very
And
related to this podcast of some picks here.
fellas, the Holy Grail of the week.
The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings extended edition 3-part
Blu-ray box set.
Blu-ray box set. And they didn't know that all 3 were in here, so they only charged it as one Blu-ray. So it was like $3.
Oh, so you played them.
Well, I
Wow.
mean, I didn't play them. I just like brought it up, and then they typed in one Blu-ray, and I didn't correct them. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Now we're an unethical podcast. Thanks, Chuck.
My bad. But that's what I got.
That's
What'd
electric.
you guys think?
dude. You got like a library in there now.
That's pretty
Dude,
sweet. man. If only you had
I'm-
shelves behind you to display all this.
Yeah, they're over there. I'm pretty sure I have like 150 movies now.
Yo, we need a full pick of them all.
Like some of them have like 3 movies in them. Some have 2.
You're catching up to me, man.
But yeah, in my Blu-ray collection, whatever that I have on my app, I have 84 right now.
Wow.
And that counts the ones with 2 or 3 in them as one. So I'm probably closer to 150.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should do an account rewatch before the new one comes out.
Yeah, but I didn't get quite as good of a deal on these as I did on the last haul. The guy that sold them to me kind of owned me.
Whoa.
He like
Whoa.
I asked him how much, and he said 2 for $5. I was like, okay, so I pulled out 20, and then he's like $50. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I can do 50. He's like, sorry, and then starts putting him back. I'm like, no, wait.
Please.
No.
So then I'm like, could you maybe do 40? And then he's like, nah, 45. And then we flipped a coin, 40 or 45, and ended up being 45. But
Dang.
you win some, you lose some.
Still not bad.
Came out to be like a little over $2 each.
That's pretty good.
I think $2.25 each. Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah.
All right. What have we been watching? What have we been watching this week? We did Charles. Let's do reverse order. So we'll do Charles first here. Let him
Okay.
keep talking.
I can keep talking. Sure.
Yeah. Talk about it.
So I watched the 2024-5 hit Dogman. Talk about that later. And I watched The Usual Suspects. And I've got some nerd nuggets about it. But
Yes,
before I
sir.
get into that, gave it a 4.5. Pretty sweet. Have you guys both seen it?
Yeah.
The Usual Suspects. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Pretty sweet twist.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie, and I also really liked that it was only an hour and 40 minutes. Like I feel like a lot of movies like this these days come out and they're at least 2.5 hours, but I feel that this being an hour and 40 minutes is kind of refreshing, and it didn't feel super rushed to me. So I really liked it. But do you guys want to hear some nerd nuggets about it?
Yeah, man. Drop
Yes,
it.
please.
Drop it on it.
Okay. Well, for starters, do you guys know where this movie title came from?
No.
It actually came from a line in Casablanca when one of the German officers said, "Round up the usual suspects." That was the inspiration for the name of this film. And apparently that was the first thing that was decided in this film, the title, and it was inspired by Casablanca. But a lot of the names in this movie were inspired by the writer. So the writer worked at a law firm before writing this. And a lot of the names in this film were inspired by people he worked with. The only kind of what's the word? Exception is Kaiser
Soze.
Kaiser Soze. So his manager or his boss at this law firm was Kaiser Sume or like Sume. But he didn't want to like hit the nail right on the head, So he changed to Soze. But Soze, do you guys know what that means in Turkish?
No.
It means talks too much.
Oh.
Which is kind of
I like that.
For those that haven't seen this film, close your ears for like 5 seconds. But it's kind of a hint at who Kaiser Soze truly is and what his name is in this film.
Yeah.
I like to imagine a Turkish guy is like just really pissed that he knew the twist from the beginning when he watched this.
Well, it's like Darth Vader, Darth Father. But yeah, those were kind of like the big nerd nuggets. Another one is Benicio del Toro in this film. Huh?
That was close, yeah.
Did I not pronounce it right?
That's close. You're good.
How do you pronounce
I'm just counting on you. Benicio del Toro.
Okay, Benicio del whatever.
Hey, we make fun of each other a lot for how we pronounce things. So.
Benicio del Toro. You threw me off my rhythm.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You took my mojo. So apparently his character was supposed to be like super normal in this, but then he figured the only purpose for his character in this film is to show that Kaiser Soze is terrifying, and I guess kind of explain the gravity of how truly terrible Kaiser Soze is. So then he was like, okay, well, if that's the only reason my character's in this film, I might as well just be really weird and have like a weird accent and stuff. So that was like all his idea. And he just kind of like went with it. And the director was like, okay, sure.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And then do you guys know the last thing? Do you guys know the line that made this like is famous from this movie?
No,
like the ending line? The greatest trick the
devil ever pulled is he was really didn't exist. Yeah.
That's it.
Classic.
That's kind of like what this movie's known for, I suppose.
Classic.
Yeah, that's an elite line.
He tricked them all.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got.
That's a good week, Jim.
That's a good week. All right. My week. Started the week off with the 3-hour Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1. The Kevin Costner put his whole life on the line for this. And let me tell you, I thought it rocked. I thought it was very good. I do agree it feels like half a movie because obviously it is. The part 2 is filmed and ready to go. For those who don't know, this movie ends with a sizzle reel. That's basically a teaser for the next movie. And that teaser got me amped. I was like, yes, let's go. Ready to roll, pumped up. I really wish this did better in theaters. I would have loved to see a part 2 of this right now. I think it's going to come out this year. I hope it does. But, man, love me a Western. And this one's a really good one. So, It's a shame it didn't get the respect it deserves. Then I watched Reservoir Dogs, which I hadn't seen in a very long time, and I really liked it, so I give it 4 stars. Just something about that Tarantino style that just hits different. I also love that he makes himself, and when he's in the movie, just like the worst, just the least likable guy. It's very funny he does that. And then I was continuing my streak of 4-star bangers with Batman Forever. Listen, I thought this was a hot pile of garbage. Rewatching it, my goodness, does it just, oh boy, does it hit well. So I recommend watching it if you haven't seen it in a while, because it is fun. It's comic booky in the best possible way. Like, listen, Nicole Kidman, gave us some great performances in her life. This one might be up there. It's just like the most perfect encapsulation of what they were going for. Val Kilmer, great Bruce Wayne. Not a great Batman, but a great Bruce Wayne. And Jim Carrey. Oh, I have a nerd nugget of the week. I'll give you one for Charles. Do you guys know about the behind-the-scenes drama between Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey?
No.
So Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey. He hated it all. So much to the point that Tommy Lee Jones apparently said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery," to Jim Carrey. And the thought of him saying that while dressed up as Two-Face is just the greatest thing I could ever think of. So that was pretty awesome. And then Avery and I this week watched He's Just Not That Into You. Let me read you this cast real quick. All right. Justin Long, Jennifer Aniston, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Connelly, Bradley Cooper, Scarlett Johansson, Drew Barrymore, Kevin Connolly. So pretty great cast, I would say, right off the bat. You're like, wow, that's a lot of famous people. Must be pretty good. Mm-hmm. No, it was not. This movie stunk. This movie had the worst people doing the worst things all the time. So it was also almost like 2.5 hours for a rom-com, which is just way too long. So yeah, not a recommend for me, unfortunately.
I've seen the ending of that movie.
That's all you probably need to see.
I saw the ending, and I'm just like, this doesn't look like something I want to watch.
No, it was shockingly least likable people of all time. And then Companion, which we'll talk about in a little bit, which, oh boy, can't wait to talk about that one. So yeah, that was my week.
That's a good week.
Yeah.
Got some fun things in there. Got a new movie in there.
Yeah, it was a good time. This
week I got to it wouldn't be a week for me if I didn't have a comedy special in here. So I watched Nate Bargatze, Hello World. I think this is one of his earlier ones. It was 2023, so only 2 years ago. But still very, very funny. And then unfortunately I had I was itching. I saw all the bad reviews for Flight Risk, and I'm like, I just gotta see this for myself.
I just gotta watch it.
I took some notes. I took some notes during the movie because I'm like, I gotta bring some of the stuff up. It's too good.
It's simply too good.
There's a part on the plane where Mark Wahlberg is fighting with the girl, and he goes, "You want to play rough? Rough, rough." And he like barks like a dog.
No way.
Oh, that's despicable.
Yeah. He then proceeds to say that he's going to give someone a titty twister. And says we're going to have fun. Yeah. To be honest, Mark Wahlberg probably was the best part about this movie. Like, this is an all-time Mark Wahlberg, what is going on here type role. Yeah, okay. And the pilot who walks there's a part in the movie where they don't know where they're going, so she then calls the pilot, or like they call someone to get some help, and there's this pilot walking her through how to fly the plane, and he's like hitting on her the entire time. He's like, "How about we go out to dinner after this?" And it's like, we don't even know if she's gonna land the plane and like be alive, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just felt like it didn't make sense. Oh my goodness. So then there's also a point in the movie where the guy that's like the witness, you know, you guys aren't going to see this, right? I mean, I figured you weren't.
No.
I mean, I'm starting to get convinced.
Yeah, this might be something I need to see.
But there's a point where like they don't know if they're gonna land the plane, and then later on in the movie, they're like, oh my gosh, we can see the runway or whatever. We're almost there. We're gonna make it. And then all of a sudden, Mark Wahlberg comes out and just stabs him. He doesn't die. That would have been too funny. And then Mark Wahlberg has quite possibly the funniest death. It's not like the funniest death ever, but as they're landing the plane, he's like trying to fight them. And when they land, one of the doors flies off, and he's like scraping to try and stay in the plane. And there's these ambulances and fire trucks that are following the plane in case it like catches on fire. And he lands on the runway and gets run over by the ambulance in the fire truck. It's not like that it happens, because if it was just like a quick like vroom, but like there's a shot from like the back wheel where you just see like a little like
Goodness.
Yeah, but it's 1.5 stars. The worst movie of the year right now. Mel Gibson. What are we doing, pal? Then I rewatched The Wild Robot. Had to get my spirits back, I had to watch something that made me happy. Watched The Wild Robot. Then I watched The Real Wild Robot, which was Companion. And then
that was good.
What?
That was good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was clever. Sorry to completely cut you off.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And then I watched Bicycle Thieves. This is a movie that I watched while I was abroad for my Italian cinema class. I had to do a project on it, so I feel like I know it very well. But then while I was over there, I got a Italian cinema calendar. So for January it was Bicycle Thieves. So every month I'm going to try and keep up with what they have. And I haven't seen this one, but there are some in here that I have seen. So I'm kind of excited to just go through this and somewhat stay up to date with these movies, because I really do like them. Or at least Bicycle Thieves was good. Honestly, I feel like every time I watch it, I like it more. But 4 stars. And then I watched You're Cordially Invited, the comedy starring Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon that came out on Prime this week.
Oh, how's that?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one where I said it's like what, obviously we didn't get to experience Michael Jordan playing for the Wizards, but this is what it must have been like. Will Ferrell, growing up, this guy's hilarious. He's so funny. And honestly, I still think he's the best part about this movie. He is still so funny. But this movie is it's rough, unfortunately. For a comedy, you want to laugh a lot. And there are some parts that are still very funny, but the plot is just very choppy. You really don't care about the characters or what they're doing. Reese Witherspoon is great. I just didn't really care for many of the other people that were in this movie. But yeah, I wanted to watch. I saw the marketing for this, and I'm like, you know what? It has Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon. This has got to be enjoyable, right? And,
I just gotta like it.
Me and Caitlin got an hour into this movie, and we were like, holy cow, there are 40 minutes left. It just felt like it was the runtime was like a weight on our shoulders. So.
Yeah, that is very similar to He's Just Not That Into You. I paused it halfway through to go get a new water, and I thought we were almost done, but it was halfway. It was pretty brutal.
Unreal. Then I watched the first episode of Spider-Man, and I think half of the second one. Almost finished it.
Pretty
good.
good.
I watched Severance, and I'm moving my way through The Sopranos. I'm moving.
My goodness.
I'm halfway through season 3 right now. So.
My goodness, Jack, you had a week.
Yeah, I had a week.
This guy was
as they say in the business.
Neat.
You know what they say.
Yeah, they do. They say it a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
I have one more Blu-ray that I forgot to show you.
Oh.
The Blues Brothers Steelbook.
Oh,
man.
baby.
Yeah.
That's sharp.
Yeah.
That is sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How much was that bad boy?
It was like $25, I think.
Oh, cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some news. We got quite a bit of news. Let's start off with the least fun news. Okay, not the least fun, but just like the least exciting, I think. The Jonas Brothers are making a new Christmas movie coming to Disney Plus 2025. Time is a flat circle, and the Jonas Brothers are back on Disney. Yeah, I don't know anything really about this. I wonder if it's like a DCOM, or if it's just like a documentary, or like just like a Christmas special. But we'll have to see. So yeah, can't wait for 2025 Christmas.
I'm in.
You're in. All right. Yeah.
If it's anything like Drake and Josh Christmas,
that
I'm
was
in.
so good. Yeah, you're right. That was really good.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're cruising through these not as fun ones, or I guess not as interesting ones. Knives Out 3 gave us a new look. They did like a whole 2025 look ahead for Netflix, and Knives Out 3 was shown here. Anything there? Probably not. We're going to keep going. Fantastic Four teased a little bit in the intro, but the trailer Fantastic Four comes out February 4th. The marketing director probably thought that was a pretty fantastic idea. Yeah. Idea.
And he or she was right, of course.
Yes. So we will talk about that next week, but pretty exciting. And also next week, we'll talk about all the... Oh, boys. Should we delay the pod until Tuesday next week to talk about Super Bowl trailers that come out on Sunday night? Like we'll talk about this off pod, but is that an idea we want to do?
Yeah, we can look into it.
All right, we'll talk about it off pod, but just for the fans, so that might happen. We kind of teased this a couple weeks ago, but Russo brothers apparently are working on an X-Men film for the MCU. Yikes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm more interested to see what happens with the upcoming Avengers movies. If they stick the landing, great. Let's sign them to possibly every Superman or every superhero movie known to man.
Yeah.
But if this doesn't go well, I don't think that they'll be much better than the stuff we already have now.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Avengers, we talked about last week. Doctor Strange said Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, said he was not going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Turns out he was wrong. He will be in Avengers Doomsday. So that means someone at Marvel called him and said, "Hey, pal, you're going to be in this movie." He goes, "Oh, sorry, didn't know that." So yeah, he'll be in it.
My buddy met him.
What?
Whoa. At the Sundance? Is that in Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my buddy in the Utah office was working the Sundance Festival, and Benedict Cumberbatch walks by, and he's like, "Oh, that guy looks familiar. Wonder who that is." Turns out it was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yo, small.
I don't know if he actually like had a conversation with him, but he was probably within like 2 feet away.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Anyways.
Right. No, I like it. For sure. All right.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, M. Night Shyamalan. This feels like a Jack special right here. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I love Jake G, man. I do.
I think I want him to get weird and wacky with this.
Yes. It's like a romantic, supernatural romantic thriller that's like, I'm gonna eat that up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. It's funny because like M. Night's super divisive, and I haven't seen all of his movies, but it's like it seems like there's an audience that always does seem to really like his movies, though. And especially with Trap, I think I enjoyed it enough to where I'm like, all right, you put Jake Gyllenhaal in this, I'm in. I'm more interested too to see who else gets casted, you know, because I feel like you pulled Jake G on board. I feel like there's some others that might want to come in too. Plus, it's M. Night Shyamalan always gets a pretty solid. I mean, there's always somebody in his movies that I recognize.
Well, Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be in The Bride coming later this year.
Yeah, I don't know how big of a
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I don't know how big of a M. Night Shyamalan's niece in this next film as well.
Not sure.
One could
guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then he's also in The Gray, coming out later this year, starring Henry Cavill and directed by Guy Ritchie. So that's pretty sweet.
He's also doing a Broadway play with
Look at
I
that.
want to say Denzel Washington.
And don't forget Roadhouse 2.
Ah, yes. How could we forget that?
I didn't. That's for sure. All right. This one is specifically for Jack and Charles. John M. Chu, director of your favorite movie of the year, was Wicked. He is now directing Oh, the Places You'll Go, the Dr. Seuss book, an animated feature for Warner Brothers Animation. Thoughts on this?
The Lorax was a banger. Dr. Seuss, he knows what's up. So I don't know. How you feeling, Chuck?
The Lorax was great, but I don't think you'd be able to recreate the Lorax. I don't know. I'm not super high. I'm not very high on this personally, but
I think this is a Dogman. This is just Dogman.
probably, unfortunately.
It's a book turned into a movie, and I think that's cool. And I think there's gonna be an audience that really likes this, and I think I like John, and I think he's done great work in the past, but this isn't my most anticipated project of his.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
I'm ready for the trailer though. Give me the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with Dr. Seuss stuff, I think there's a lot of creativity you can do for animation. So I'm very interested to see what they can bring to this movie. But until we get those first looks, I'm intrigued, but not necessarily something that I'm gonna rush to the theater for until I get a look.
I'm with you. I think it's hard to judge this just based on the fact that I like Dr. Seuss. I like the books. I think the Lorax is pretty good, but I actually liked Horton Hears a Who a lot more. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on this. I don't know. Obviously I think visually it's very difficult to recreate Seuss, so I think it's a very good choice that they're going animation, but I don't know.
Yeah. The OG Cat in the Hat movies are epic.
Yes.
Big fan of them. Even if they are super goofy and probably the worst movies you've ever seen, because I haven't seen them in 15 years. It's okay though. Is Chuck okay?
I don't know. He muted himself.
I was gonna spill some news, but it's not related to anything that we're talking about.
That's okay. Do you want to break the news?
Breaking news?
Do you have breaking news? You don't have to break the news.
Did you guys hear about Punxsutawney Phil this morning?
Oh, dude, yeah. More winter.
Yep.
This guy stinks.
Yep.
Fine, I'll watch Groundhog Day again. I like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. But anyway, the reason why I was wincing, I guess. I was looking up the pronunciation of Punxsutawney Phil.
Beforehand, just in case.
And an ad came in, and it was wowed. It's like,
oh.
But yeah, that's all I got.
I think that's all we got for John Chu.
Is that all we got for the boy, for Mr. Chu? All right.
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger. So this movie was filmed in 2023. Allegedly is great. Was supposed to release in 2023, 2024. Delayed. No one wanted to release it. Not even Netflix wanted to release it. Finally, someone is going to release it. So it's coming out for Labor Day in theaters. It is starring Peter Dinklage. Let me see who else. Your boy, Frodo. Elijah Wood. Kevin Bacon. And apparently it's really good. It just is not.
I never heard of it.
It has 5.9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So who's saying it's really good?
I don't know. I just heard it was good, so I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh crap, bro! He's turning into Gollum.
He's Gollum.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him.
He's going full. Gonna once precious.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The Toxic Avenger. Let's see a trailer, and then or maybe there has been trailers. I've just missed it, but you know what they say.
What do they say? This
The
time I
apple
actually
doesn't
want to
fall.
know. There it is.
The apple doesn't. The apple doesn't fall far from the monkey.
Yeah, I'm
All
sure
right.
they've said that. I'm
Yeah,
sure
the
someone
truth
said
will-
that.
The truth will set you free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Heard that one before.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see what's going on with the new Superman lawsuit. I'm
So I have some
very
news on
interested.
that. I got some stuff for that. I Googled it, so don't worry. I got some actual info.
Let's go.
Yeah. Google's never lied, so we're figuring it out. All right. So allegedly, this estate, the Schuster estate, who's one of the co-creators of Superman, always sues whenever a new Superman movie comes out, and almost every time Warner Brothers wins. So basically, the suit is always kind of the same, that there is not a lot. It's like not allowed to be released overseas. There's basically like a couple territories it's not allowed to be done in, though. It happened 11 years ago with Man of Steel. Same lawsuit was favored in Warner Brothers as well. So I would assume it's going to get settled pretty quickly and kind of just move on from there. But I feel like it's the family of Joe Shuster trying to just get some money out of it. And honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, he was the co-creator of Superman. So
Yeah, but they probably already got a lot of compensation for this. Why
that's
are they
possible. I don't know.
And if they keep losing, they're just losing money.
I don't know.
So what's the point of this?
I wish
What
I
is
could
it?
tell you.
The Schuster estate?
Yeah.
The
They
Schuster-
have hope.
Hmm.
They think they can do it.
They got
Even
high hopes for a living.
See what you did there.
They always had high hopes.
Okay.
Jesus.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I don't blame them. Like your family co-created Superman. Like I feel like you should get at least something out of it. And to be honest with you, based on James Gunn's opinion about how comic creators should get something, I would not be shocked if there's some kind of anything
Settlement.
with them. Yeah, or at least like, hey, I don't know, here's a check or something for this how much. But this happens every time a Superman movie is released, so nothing really big in
man.
news. But
Do you guys know how much Schuster sold the rights to Superman to DC Comics for?
oh, please tell me, it's like probably like a nickel and 12 cents.
It was in 1938. To
Oh no.
give you context.
Okay.
Hold on. You guys have to guess.
Okay, 1938. I'm trying to think about,
Okay, how much do you think it would be worth now? Or how much
Okay.
do you think it would have been sold for now?
Okay, like, I got you.
Not what it's
I'm gonna
actually
say,
worth,
like-
but how much do you think he sold it for in today's
I'm gonna say he
dollars?
sold it for like 100 grand.
Okay. Hunter?
I'm gonna say 7 or 8 grand.
He sold it in 1938 for $130.
Oh no.
Today, that is worth $2,900.
Dude got fleeced.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
How was he supposed to know? How was he supposed to know?
I don't blame the Schuster estate. I'd be pretty.
Yeah, I'd be pretty
salty
annoyed
too.
as well. That stinks. That stinks.
Listen to all you listeners out there. If you have
Yeah.
a product and you believe in it, don't sell it.
Or ask for a percentage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Genius. Look at this guy.
We figured it out. We're business people. We got it.
This guy graduated with a degree in business. That's for sure. All right. All right.
I think that puts the cap on the Superman. Or not really. Because we're going to come back to Superman.
Shortly.
Maybe right now.
Yeah, right now. We're doing it right now. We're on trailers now. We're doing it right now. Sorry. I'm getting a lot of weird texts right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Work stuff never ends. Yes, Jack, please lead us off on what this Superman trailer, if you don't mind.
Of course. So
Thank you.
with this new Superman trailer, James Gunn released a new teaser. It gave us just about everything we've seen from the past few trailers, except for two things. We got a super crazy aura farming moment from Lex Luthor as he walks out of the ship or whatever type of vehicle he's in. He is dripped out in some really dope goggles, but everyone was really excited to see that. What everyone is upset about is the scene of Superman flying. James Gunn says that it is not CGI, but when everyone looks at this photo, look, a lot of people are up in arms saying like, "Oh, this is going to be terrible. This looks awful. This looks awful." I think when you're watching a trailer, when I watched it, I thought it looked off. I do. I agree. I didn't think it looked great. But when you're watching a movie, some things just happen so fast that you really can't take enough time to notice if it looks like that. As with these trailers, you can stop, look at it for 10 minutes and be like, does this look right? You know, that's how I feel about it. I don't think it looks great. I really don't know if they're going to make a sequence that tops Henry Cavill's fight sequence. I think that is the best Superman flight sequence that I've seen. I think it is so good. But from that picture alone, that doesn't give me a ton of confidence. Still excited for this movie.
Good. I thought it looked good.
I thought it looked great.
I thought it looked really good. I think the picture itself does not look great, but in motion it looks wonderful.
Sure.
It's the same exact flying style we got in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 out of Adam Warlock.
Yes.
When he's flying to go save his mom. It's the exact same. And I was really excited when I saw it because it's like very much director style, using like the fisheye lens. And I was a huge fan. I'm not sure why people are so upset about this, and like no one got upset about the Adam Warlock flying in Guardians 3.
I think it's just a much bigger character. Like I think with Adam Warlock, people can just be like, "Oh, it's Adam Warlock. Something doesn't look right." Okay, well, a ton of people. I mean, Adam Warlock is a very well-known character, but he's not Superman, you know? Yeah. And I think, especially to the general audience, like, look, I think it looks fine. It doesn't look like 100% to me, but like I said, for me, I don't think anything's going to beat the Man of Steel flight sequence. But still, like, I think this is getting a lot more hate than it really needs to. I don't know. Like I said, it's Superman. People are going to be critical. No matter what they put out, someone's going to come out and say, "Oh, this looks trash. This looks like it was, a CGI mess." I like that James Gunn's putting his spin on this, and this gives me confidence in his style, that like he's staying to what he knows.
Yeah.
And does best. So I'm excited about that. But like the clip itself, I wasn't like super confident in, but
I think it's hard too because obviously he is like he's in the whiteness of the Arctic, so like that washes you out. Plus, like obviously he's a white gentleman, so like his face blends kind of with the background. And then I do think it looks good with the hair moving. That was my one always complaint about Cavill, is his hair was like always like they probably sprayed it with something, probably just hairspray, obviously, but his hair was solid. Like I like the whipping hair he has, which is nice. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it looked good.
I saw a complaint from someone, and they were like, "Oh, his face, like it's his face, like because he's flying so fast. It's like
So it looks like
that is." And someone is like, "That's his face, like flying back," and I'm like, "Oh." And then I saw a bunch of other comments saying, "Well, he's like Superman, like he's
flying,
but like his face wouldn't fly back, like he's the Man of Steel, like nothing's going to."
Yeah, he wouldn't be like pulled back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty pumped for this. I think it looked good, but I just want to see him in like. I think it was gonna be. Let me tell you, James Gunn. I know you're listening to this. You're a big fan of the pod. Put that Superman in the yellowy, red, orange scenes from the original Spider-Man trilogy. Oof, those flying sequences, because I think that is like the perfect look for superhero. Is like that. You're talking about like the Raimi like evening shot. Oh man,
Yeah.
it looks so good. Like I want the Superman to be flying around in that. So, okay. Anything else on Superman?
Nar.
All right,
Super no.
nice, got him.
Jack's on
Sinners,
fire.
dude. Jack is on a roll right now.
Jack's on
Sinners.
fire.
Ryan Coogler. I'll read the synopsis for the trailer. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil has waiting to welcome them back. Reading is not good right now.
It's tough.
It's tough. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, soon to be, Haley Allen, I guess. But this trailer looked awesome. This was a great trailer. I was pumped watching this trailer, and it actually gave me a little more, because I was like, the first show didn't give me a whole lot. This one gave a little more of like what the story actually is going to be about.
And I know a lot of people were upset that some plot points in this movie were ruined or spoiled through this trailer. I'm not necessarily as worried about that, because I think when I first saw the trailer, I was interested, but I wasn't like as engaged. And I think by what they showed in this newest trailer, I'm like, all right, like I'm seated. I'm ready to watch this movie.
Yeah, big time.
This is an all-time Chuck movie.
Yeah, Chuck, you have to go see this one, please.
I think you could watch this one.
I think this one you got to go see.
All right.
I think you'll be able to handle this one.
Fine.
But it's like you have the vampires, but
I
want to say I saw an interview somewhere saying that it's not like the only mythical creature we could see in this movie.
Loch Ness Monster, baby. This is a backdoor Nessie movie. That'd be lit. I love the Loch Ness Monster. I love the Loch Ness Monster. I think it'd be kind of cool if it was like, because obviously in the trailer he's saying like him and his brother traveled around the world and he's seen a lot of things. I think it'd be kind of cool if they were like monster hunters. Yeah, and then like that's the whole like the devil followed them back. And like the one monster they couldn't stop was each other, because like his brother obviously becomes a vampire in the trailer.
I will say I'm very interested to see, because like I don't know if Michael B. Jordan playing twins was like the original like creative decision, or was it supposed to be like Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, which we'll talk about here in a second. But whoa, he would have been a very intimidating man to come at you for. He was,
of course.
Honestly, if they were gonna do different people, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, I've been my bet out of that. He would have been great. But. All right, speaking of Jonathan Majors, let's talk about Magazine Dreams. So obviously we don't have to really dive into the whole controversy around Jonathan Majors. A person I've seen in person, I walked right by him. He always wears that hat and he does wear the glasses. So that is how he actually looks and dresses.
And he knew that you knew who he was.
Yeah, we had the moment. Yeah. So this was supposed to come out in 2023, was a big Oscars favorite. Obviously the whole controversy surrounding Michael B. Jordan happened. Jonathan Majors happened. Delayed, wasn't going to release, now is going to release. Won the special jury prize at Sundance, won a few other awards. Finally coming out. What did we think?
I thought it looked great.
Yeah, I thought this looked incredible.
I thought it looked
awesome. I was blown away by this trailer.
I thought it looked so good. So good.
Wow, that's good.
Jack, did you see it?
I'm glad that it released now, because if I had to watch this 2 years ago and wait for this movie, I'd be so upset.
Yeah.
It just looks that good. I feel like he's just so captivating from the 2.5 minutes that you get to watch in this trailer. He looks like he is just it's unreal. Like a human should.
Yeah, he is the largest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like he just looks ginormous.
And I don't know. There's just a way he speaks that just feels so intriguing. Like he can just suck in the audience.
Yes.
I just don't know what it is. It feels authentic. It feels very real. Like in this trailer, I'm very excited to see what happens in this movie. And all things aside, I think he's a very talented individual. And I think that he's got a lot to give, in terms of the film industry, but it'll be interesting to see if this movie can swing anybody to pick him up in some new stuff.
And it seems like he didn't get, I don't know, we don't have to dive into it, but it seems like the case was kind of thrown out and everything. So
yeah, I think it was just, it's messy.
Everything worked out, but my God, he is talented. And like,
yes,
I really thought he was going to be like the next guy up. Like he was like the next one, which, still a possibility, but I'm very excited to see this movie and I will be.
Me too. It comes out in March, right?
And yes. And here's my thing as well. Like, listen, if you obviously maybe have an issue with Jonathan Majors, 100% understandable. But a lot of other people worked on this movie, and a lot of other people like put their blood, sweat, and tears into making it work. So I at least think that you should give it a chance.
No, for sure.
My kind of thought on that. So yeah. Magazine Dreams. We will review it when it comes out. Quick talking point for some shows before we get into our reviews. Your Friendly Neighborhoods. Oh, so sorry.
I think there's one more. Rough. Did you guys see it?
What?
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 The trailer, Rough.
What is that?
Oh, is this the PG trailer you had to watch for Dog Man?
No. Not
like the
Rough.
Like the Rough Ruffman show?
Definitely not
like
Rough.
With Fetch?
Stand by, please.
This is great. We're doing some great radio bits today.
He's talking about, he wants to talk about Dropped again. He wants
Riff
to talk about
Riff Raff.
I did not see this trailer. What was that? Riff Raff.
Riff Raff with Bill Murray and Pete.
Oh, with
And Jennifer
Coolidge.
Oh my God. Riff Raff.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's gonna be a great movie. Riff Raff.
It's gonna be so fantastic.
You guys didn't watch it?
I just love being on TV. Oh, Riff Raff.
Actually, really kind of good.
I did not see this trailer at all.
What if we do an entire podcast of just Jennifer
Coolidge? Yeah.
Oh my God.
This got a tiff. Oh my gosh. Me and Bill Murray. A dream come true.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
PJ Bryan. My boy PJ Bryan. Yo.
Yeah. It actually looks kind of good.
Bill. Wait. What? Lewis Pullman. What?
Chuck brought the sauce this week.
Dude, Chuck did bring some sauce this week. This looks all right. Off initial reactions, not watching the trailer, in.
Dude, it actually looks like a pretty funny movie.
Consider me in. Is this coming to theaters or is this
like partners? I don't know. They're like partners in a gang, and Pete and Bill Murray's like 80 years old.
Yeah, it's coming to theaters. All right. For sure. This also feels like a movie that's going to end up on Peacock about a week after it releases in theaters. So,
nah, Steelbook.
All right. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Charles. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the new Disney Plus show, also surrounded by some controversy, which listen, I'm not really interested in getting into, but a very weird controversy. First 2 episodes, I thought quite good. I do recommend. The ending of episode. Oh wait, am I cool spoiling it? Is that okay?
I'll take it off. I'll take it off for like 5 seconds just because.
All right, yeah, I'll leave you back. The ending of episode 2 is a recreation of the beginning of Civil War with, instead of being Tony Stark, it is actually going to be Coleman Domingo's version of Norman Osborn, which I thought was a pretty cool change. So, and episode 2 is great as well. And now obviously Norman Osborn knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So pretty cool. 3 episodes this week. I recommend. I think the animation style actually works a lot better in motion versus seeing still images of it. So, all right, waving them back. We're really great on this podcast about this.
Jack and I were making faces while you were talking.
Making faces to each other. No big deal.
Volume.
Okay.
All right.
Can I say this about?
Yes.
Can I talk about it? Okay. So I watched the first episode and half of the second.
Oh, you knew the spoiler I was giving then for the first episode about the ending scene and what it recreates.
Oh yeah, it's lit. Oh well, I don't know. Okay, but the point is,
I said it already.
I am not. I didn't love it. I'm intrigued because obviously it's Spider-Man, and it like I thought it was unique how it pulled in, Doctor Strange in the first scene. You know, how it kind of shows how he was Spider-Man. I don't know. I know this is like, I think this is aimed towards kids. That's just the feeling that I get from this, or at least from the dialogue. I feel like it's very, I don't know. I didn't love it. I thought I was going to like this a little bit more than I did. And I think the animation itself is, while I appreciate that they're trying to go a different route, and I do like the parts where they make it very comic booky, you know, like every to start every episode, they kind of have like the theme song. Not a massive fan of the theme song either.
Whoa.
But
okay, hater.
I'm not just saying, I'm just talking about it. It's just, but I do think it's neat how like before they start, they kind of make it like a comic book cover, which is pretty cool from like a point in the show. I will say, when I was watching this show, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, Dr. Osborn. I recognize that voice. Do you know who that voice is?
It's Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't know. Like,
he needs to be Norman Osborn in the main
I didn't
universe.
know. Like, I was like, this soothing voice. I recognize this. Where have I heard you before? And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, it's Coleman Domingo. And then I look it up and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I was going through the sequence of events as I was watching it with my roommate. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Coleman Domingo. And he's just like, nice. He's like, nice. So
nice.
I don't know. I'm not all in on it yet, but I think it's interesting, and I think it could maybe get a little bit better, but I don't think I'm going to love this. I think Creature Commandos solos.
It's a very different show.
I agree. Very different.
Yes. All right, Severance. Episode 3. Let's talk about it. Charles, I assume you're going to go away for this one. Episode 3, entitled Who is Alive? Mark, Helly, Irving, and Dylan search for answers. Quick synopsis of the episode. Spoilers, obviously. Mark and Helly go and visit the goat department to learn a little bit about them. Dylan gets a chance to meet his Audi's wife, and Irving goes and visits the department that Christopher Walken was in, and O&D visits there for the first time. Also on the outside, Mark is trying to get to the bottom of it, and he's now doing what's the procedure called where he like can go in and out simultaneously.
He's reintegrating.
Thank you. Also great Mrs. Wong episode. Great Mrs. Wong episode. So Jack, thoughts?
Oh boy. The second that Milchick gets the paintings, I told my roommate, I'm like, this is going to be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was
shocking.
It was, unfortunately, I wasn't as shocked. I think it's just like the sequence that happens after is you get this you get these two people reacting to the same thing, which is Natalie and Milchick, and it's just very tense, and you feel the kind of the gravity that happens after that situation, like all of that transpires. And I'm all in for Milchick kind of, you know, saying screw Lumen and helping the innies, and that's I'm all in on that, you know.
Yes.
I think he feels disrespected, and he totally deserves to feel that way, or he doesn't deserve to feel that way, but like after that happened, that's a completely valid thing that happened. But I didn't think it was Dylan's wife until we saw her after.
I also did not think it was Dylan's wife.
I'm like, there's no way they're actually going to help him. I thought this was just never going to happen. I thought it was going to be something just to keep Dylan G in place, because Dylan's an op now. He totally is. He doesn't want to help. Like, Irving's like, oh, you want to go to O&D with me? And he's like, well, why don't you go first? It's like, okay, buddy. All right.
He did get to learn his Audi is kind of a loser.
Yeah.
Which was a tough thought.
That's tough. I feel like it's like you're thinking about yourself, and then someone tells you that, especially your wife. It's like, I just didn't like that whole interaction.
It was very awkward, but it also showed like that she is like just a stranger to him. Like she doesn't know anything about him, or like he doesn't know anything about her.
I didn't feel much like, to be honest though, like out on the outside, it didn't feel much different to me, though. You know, like clearly, I
Yeah.
don't feel like that love and that feeling of compassion you should have for, you know, someone that you're married to is obviously they got a lot of stuff going on. So it's like, you know, sometimes it can get lost in all the busyness, but like, holy cow. I didn't feel like there was a massive shift between the life they showed where he's severed and the one where he's back at home hanging out with his kids, you know?
Yes.
He's just a little bit more quiet and a little bit more reserved than he is on the severed floor.
Agreed.
How about that goat room, man?
Yeah, the goat room was a bit much. So like that's where I was a little confused, not confused, but like very interested in thinking what's coming next. Because do these people like go home every night? Like, do they just like get in their car after work and like drive home? Like, do they ever wonder why they smell like goats or like why they're dirty from the day? Or like even they just were super confused about even like humans in society. Like they wanted to see if they had pouches. It's like, how long have they been down there just like living life?
I want to say that's a reference back to Bert. I want to say there was like rumors saying that
he had a pouch.
That are saying that people at Macro Data Refinement had pouches or something. And that they had offspring that would like come out of them and like attack. Which is weird. I don't know. I think it's so weird that they even asked them for pouches. And the fact that all of these people believe all the stuff that the Lumen Corporation is basically like giving them in propaganda of different ways. It's ridiculous. And it feels weird.
Very, very interested to see how that goes.
And you've seen I thought this was hilarious. As soon as they showed the goat room and it showed it like slowly, the camera like kind of like panned over to the black goat. You've seen Witch from
yes.
It's like Black Phillip. I was like, oh my gosh, like
there is.
That's literally Black Phillip on some dude's head. I thought that was so funny. But what else happened this episode? So much. I mean, that ending was.
I loved the idea of like flashing his eyes so he would be able to like see something on the side. And then she's like, "Well, how is he supposed to get the information back to you?" He's like, "I don't know. He'd figure that out." Like,
yeah.
Well, she actually did have a plan for it. He would have just gone on the outside and like ran out that door. Which that's the thing I'm confused. And I remember they talked about it in season 1. And maybe just remind me, why couldn't they have written on a piece of paper like, "Help, I need help in here, like this is awful," and then run out that door where it switches them back over? I remember there was a reason, but I couldn't remember why it was when I thought about it again.
I mean, in terms of like the note detection and like the stairwell, I think the stairwell you can like maybe this is how I remember it, but like I remember that like I think Miss Cobell had gone out the door before, right? She's gone up the stairs. But like I don't think we've seen anyone else go through the stairs.
Yeah.
So I think that the people that are not severed can go through the stairs, but everyone else has to go through the elevator.
Okay. Maybe I was remembering it wrong.
So like Milchick can go out the stairs, or at least that's how but then also the notes. I don't think the note thing is like actually real, that it can detect notes. I just think they have so many like cameras and there's somebody like on security that won't allow you to get to the elevator with a note or with something of that sorts.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Plus, you have the guy who checks you on the way in, or I don't think he doesn't check you on the way out, but on the way in he does. Yeah. Let me think. There was a few very small things. We learned that the black room is the exports room.
Yes, and they used to go there, but now they're not allowed.
Yeah.
I wonder what that means.
The whole sequence with Miss Cobell, dude.
Yeah, her running away.
We get her and Helena. She's headed over there, and then they specifically highlight the driver. She makes eye contact with him, and
he knew. Yeah, she knew him.
She knew him from something. Not sure what, not sure how, but it was pretty freaky. No idea who that guy is. And then Rickon, man. Rickon is my comedic relief. This dude is a goofball. He's just getting asked to write a book for the everyone downstairs in the severed floor, and he's just like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially after, I don't know if she's. I mean, I would assume that he's overheard about everything that they've talked about, and especially they had the conversation in episode 1. But I don't know. He's an oddball for sure.
Yeah. All right. Can we have him back?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Is he paying attention? Oh, he is paying attention. All right. He's going to talk about Dogman first because I'm pumped to hear about this. Charles, welcome back. You are up first to talk about Dogman.
Oh, great. All right. Yeah, so I saw Dogman. I did not realize going into it how
also
much of it.
full spoilers, please.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Okay.
Didn't realize going into it how much of a kids movie this was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a Wild Robot type thing where like appeals to adults. I was misled.
By who? By whom? Whom?
Myself.
Oh.
It was okay. I was very excited for it just because I hadn't been to the theater in over a month, and I was really excited to sit down, turn on the seat warmer, recline, and get a slushie and have a good time, you know? And at first I was like, wow, this animation is really cool. I'm pretty into this. I became disinterested very fast. And I probably would have considered getting up and leaving, not because it was bad by any means, just because it was not at all what I was really interested in seeing. But there were like families around me, and I didn't want to be that guy that gets up and walks out alone, you know, because if I just felt like it'd be kind of rude to, you know.
Yeah.
So I stuck it out. There were honestly a couple moments that I laughed out loud just because it's so dumb and random. Like there's this evil fish that is brought to life by the living steam or something, and he just like floats around the air, and he's got like a British accent, and at one point all the buildings came alive, and Dogman was partnered up with this evil cat, and they were fighting these giant.
You mean Flippy the Fish?
Is that who it is?
Yeah, voiced by the one and only Ricky Gervais.
Yeah. And so this giant mechazoid, whatever, powered by Dogman and the evil cat, are fighting all these living buildings. And it's the last building. And Dogman, like with the mechazoid, picks it up, and it just does like a zoom in on the fish, and he's like, "Not the suplex." And then just like does like a WWE suplex on this building, and I laughed out loud because I thought it was just so random. So I don't know. I gave it 2.5 stars. I'd probably give it like a 54 out of 100. It's not a bad movie. It's just very, very tailored to kids. And like if I had watched that 15 years ago, probably would have eaten it up. Or if I watched that in 10 years with my children, probably would have been very entertained by my children's reactions. It's just not a movie a 22-year-old should see.
Okay, yeah,
Sure about that.
for sure.
Yeah. But
Hey,
I did get a pretty sweet
understandable.
keychain.
Oh yeah, the merch.
Yeah, so I saw on like AMC Instagram that they had these keychains. So I walk in, I scan my ticket, and I ask the guy, I'm like, "Hey, do you guys still have those Dogman keychains?" And the guy just looks at me like, "What?" I'm like, "The keychains. Are you guys still giving those out?" He's like, "I've got one in my pocket."
Oh.
He pulls it out of his pocket and gives it to me, and I'm like, "Thanks."
Oh.
That guy was probably going to give it to his kid or something, man.
Yeah,
What's
or
wrong
He
with
was
you?
not. No, he was not old enough to have children. He was.
That's like the equivalent of me asking for the crayons when I saw Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Hey, yo, you got any more cranes back there?
So yeah, now I've got this sweet keychain courtesy of the nice guy who pulled it out of his pocket. I thought I had something else to say. I forget.
How's Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson was in this.
Pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he was the cat, right?
Yeah, no, I thought he was the man.
Greg?
I thought he was the man that became the dog man.
So yeah, Greg.
No, he's the cat. He's Petey the cat.
He's Petey. Okay. He was fine. I mean, a lot of it was just like I thought about just closing my eyes and just like going to sleep. Not because I had to, just because I was like, it'd be really nice to take a nap right now.
Damn, you could have seen Companion, man. You missed out.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine as PD, I suppose.
Hey Charles, what is your number one movie of the year though?
It's 2025 Dogman.
Yes.
Wonder how long that'll last.
Till maybe next week.
That's up there with
I am curious
for being my number one for a little bit in 2024.
It'd be very funny if you liked Love Hurts like less, and so it just stayed number one.
You never know.
You never know. Love Hurts.
Man,
I
will say really quick,
thank you for doing that, Charles. Thank you.
There was another voice that you should have recognized.
No.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Pippin was in this movie.
Who did he play?
He was Seamus.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh man, he must have had limited screen time.
Seamus.
But as a massive Lord of the Rings head, I was like, oh, maybe it's just like maybe it's like, oh.
Wait, that's actually funny. He was this like Seamus was the cameraman who literally just looked like a lumberjack. That's awesome. No, I never would have gotten that, but that's funny.
Now you know, man. Are we?
Yep. Are we ready for Companion?
Companion.
All right, Companion. Full spoilers ahead. Unfortunately, it's a movie that it's really hard to rate without it. We'll give our scores in the beginning though before we jump into spoilers, just in case you are interested. Quick synopsis: a billionaire's death sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to this lakeside estate. That's pretty generous to call them friends. All right, out of 100, Jack, for those who are interested in non-spoiler, what did you give it?
Give me a 76.
76. All right, I gave it an 83. Now we are in full spoiler mode. So if you're not interested in spoilers, thank you for listening. Jump back in a few minutes when it's over and we do our little recap at the end. All right, Mr. Jack, what are your thoughts on Companion?
It's not a thriller and it's not a horror movie. It's a comedy.
Whoa. There's some thrilling moments in this.
Yes, but it's I thought I was
not horror for sure.
Nonstop. Like sure, there's thrilling moments for sure, but I found myself laughing more than anything.
It was a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with my friend and it was us, this woman sitting in front of us, and then two people down front. And oh my gosh, we just could not stop laughing. I don't think the woman in front of us laughed the entire movie. The people down at the front laughed so loud though that like when something funny would happen, like we would laugh, but we could still hear them down there. So I appreciated the energy that they were bringing from the front row, you know. But you get the initial twist in the trailer that Iris is a companion. But there's another twist in here that's awesome.
I also had a guy who laughed quite a bit at everything, and that made it was just very enjoyable. Yes, so Iris is a companion, which for those who don't know is a robot who is there to companion you in ways that you're allowed to choose. Jack Quaid obviously chooses a girlfriend. Other people, I guess, could choose some other things. But that is the twist, and she does not know that. But then, as the audience, obviously the marketing, everything gave you that twist away. So you're like, all right, I know that twist. The real twist is that Jack Quaid's character jailbroke her so that she is able to kill. Specifically, kill Rupert Friend's character, Sergey, who Jack Quaid Jack Quaid was under the impression he was a Russian mobster. It turns out he's just a Russian guy with a lot of money, and they wanted her to kill him, cover up, take the money, and they could get out of there. That goes horribly wrong, and we get an incredible chain of events where Iris just gets to live, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I honestly, so Sophie Thatcher in this movie, I think is very good. I think specifically in like the on-off moments where it's like, Iris, go to sleep, Iris, wake up. I love that. But honestly, big shout out to my boy Jack Quaid as Josh. Dude was great here. Like a perfect evolution of getting a little spookier the more he went along. I really like that.
Yeah, and I will say the other person that really popped out to me was like Lucas.
It's Patrick. Yeah, Lucas Gage.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Patrick.
He was awesome, and the other twist is that he is a companion robot as well.
Yes, which I did figure out earlier.
Oh, really?
Because the reason I thought about it is when like the way Rupert Friend treated him was very similar to the way he treated Iris. And so I was like, all right, I think he might be a companion. One thing I did love in this movie, though, was the meet cutes.
Yes.
Yes. So the robots to pair with you had to do like a meet cute with you. And we get to see Iris's and Josh's. We get to see Eli and Patrick's. But then we also get to see a version of it with Josh and Patrick. And it was just, man, I loved that little like cutaway into that. It was just such a perfect little moment.
They were so funny too, because at the beginning we get this sequence and we get to see Iris and Josh meeting, and in order for them to link, you have to choose a memory of how you guys met. It never happened, but in the head of the companion, it feels real.
Feels real.
And obviously Iris and Josh have theirs. They meet at the supermarket. And then, but like Josh or Patrick and Eli have theirs, and it's like they're at a party, steps on his tail, and they tell us before you even know that, you know that Patrick is a companion as well. But then once Iris breaks away and Eli is killed, unfortunately, by Iris as she's trying to get away, then Josh jailbreaks Patrick, and Patrick then has to have that link up again, but it's with Josh. So then you see the same we see like the same memory of him stepping on the tail, but then he takes the helmet off and it's Jack Quaid. It's just, we were laughing. It was, and then they dance. It was so funny. Oh my
so
gosh.
Good. I do think the kills here were quite good.
The ending one was insane.
The ending one was insane. I also loved that they weren't like afraid to let Iris not just become like basically the Terminator. I was worried about that. Like when she got the phone, that she was gonna be able to just dial up her settings to like 11 and just be unstoppable. I did like that she was still like a person, I guess. The hand at the end was just so Terminator.
That was awesome.
It was great. It was great.
It was so cool.
Him having the nickname for her Beep Boop.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. And also looking back on it, I think one of my favorite conversations in the movie was the conversation between Iris and Kat when they're on the couch. And she's like, you don't like me very much, do you? And she's like, well, I just think that you make me feel replaceable. And obviously Iris doesn't know the meaning of that. And so responds like, oh, no one can replace you. Like, you're one of a kind. But Kat, like, obviously means it like a very specific way. And I thought that was just really great. So,
yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought that was funny how, they treated them like they were the companions before we kind of get the twist. But we knew that. And I guess if I watched it again, I could probably see that Patrick, gets treated different, as you were saying.
But see, Eli was truly in love with Patrick, and Patrick was in love with Eli, which I think was just was a really impactful moment, like, of the movie.
Sure. Yeah, it was pretty sad once Eli kind of passed, but then it sits for a little bit, and then Josh is like, all right, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny how we literally get the scene of Jack Quaid. Like, he's just it's a really quick cut to Jack Quaid in bed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like. I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
No, that was a good moment.
That
was very funny.
And then it's like they were like, I'm sure, like he says, I'm sure this must have been a lot to process. And like I thought that was funny. Like they used, some of those like computing words, like stuff like that. I thought it was hilarious.
I was thinking about like if these robots did exist, it would be number one, impossible to tell like who's a robot and who isn't.
Yeah.
I guess the lying thing would be helpful, but I would teach one to gamble so fast. I would teach one to be like the greatest gambler of all time and just win all of the money. I'd like have to reach out to the companion company and be like, look, I just need a buddy. I want a buddy who I'm gonna teach to gamble. And they'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you had these, I think the sky's the limit. And honestly, it was like terrifying just like thinking about that. It's like, I mean, not to say that this is something that could come out soon, but that is.
Well, it's not like they're not working on it,
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And like I think that this is very similar to Deus Ex Machina from a couple of years ago, or like Ex Machina.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I think this is a better version of that, to be honest.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe I'll give
I don't
that
know.
a
I gotta
watch.
rewatch it. It's been a couple of years since I've seen that. Maybe I'll rewatch that as well. But yeah, I loved this. I love this movie. I would not be shocked if this is my top 12 or 15 of the year by the end of the year.
Really? I think I left this movie and I was like very happy, very excited, very like great. Like I think it was a good movie, great theater experience. And I think when you have both of those at the same time, I think it's really hard to kind of like put your thoughts together on like how you like feel about the movie overall.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I like there's like a couple like small little like bits in here, like the scene where Eli shoots the gun and they like shoot and he's like, oh my gosh, it's so loud. And they like have to like stand there for a second just to recover from how loud like the gunshot was when they try to shoot Iris when she's running away. And then they're having the conversation at the beginning. I want to say it's Patrick. He's having the conversation with Sergey and he goes, so kind of like what line of work are you in? He's like, oh, I have my hand in many things. And he goes, but it's very dirty work.
Yeah.
And then you like initially like, oh man, like this guy's in like the mafia. And
this guy's like a serial killer.
This guy sells dirt. And
yeah, he literally is a dirt farmer.
Once that was released, I thought that was so funny. I don't know. And then the part where Jack Quaid says that he rents her, he doesn't even own her.
Yeah, she's like a lease.
Yeah, I don't even own you. I lease you.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah, and then just Teslas galore in this movie. Holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
Everyone drives a Tesla. Oh, and then they played Iris.
Oh yeah,
the song Iris. They play like when he's like, no, this is how we actually met. It starts playing it, and then they knock on the door, and then they bring her in. And,
yeah. That was very funny. Him just sitting there.
Yeah, man,
great.
That's great. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a January gem.
Yeah, I think we very rarely get them, but I think we do maybe one every year, and this was the one this year.
Yeah, very very happy.
I'm with you. All right. Anything else like Companion? Big recommend from us, I would say.
Go see it. It's a good time.
Go see it. Yeah, for sure. Go see it. Charles, I think if you have time this week, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that you guys, if you have time, you should definitely check out Dogman.
Yeah.
That's such a lot.
It's a shame I won't have time, but that's just what it is.
You guys should see Flight Risk.
Yeah. No, I'm okay.
I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna. Okay, so next week, Love Hurts. Big one for us. Love Hurts. Huge for the podcast. Get pumped. Get hyped. K-Wei Kwan. Here we go. Could be this year's The Beekeeper. Who knows? Probably not. And then next week, following week, Captain America Brave New World and Paddington in Peru. Huge up for the podcast. So that second episode in February is going to be big. Big. So yeah, get hyped. Anything else, boys?
Nope. Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. Go see some movies. All right. Peace and love. Have a good one. Enjoy the Super Bowl.